Once Brett just told me that Jordan was done for the year. I don't know if that's, I haven't followed any of the media reports. Is that what's being said? So we'll plan for the next quarterback after that, and then I think the freshman will play some, which he's already doing in different formations and personnel groups. So I think that's the direction we'll take.
Had you started preparing for Wynn?
No. And really, it doesn't alter our preparation that much. The concepts that are run between the two, there's a little variance, but not much. So it just allowed us to start on the base concepts today before we even knew who might play quarterback.
One is obviously a better runner, the other one's the thrower. Is that, in general, is that hard to prepare for?
No, I think it's, as long as we know what we're defending, it makes it easier, no matter what their talent level is. The quarterback that'll be starting led him to an 8-5 record, so he has good experience and he's led him to winning. So I don't think it'll be some giant transition for him.
You've struggled a bit against mobile quarterbacks in the past, and then you maybe got that corrected a little bit last year. How do you feel you're prepared this year for that?
I think we're on the right track. I think, as you mentioned, there was a starting point and then a lot of correction to where, man, we played 4 or 5 of them, and I don't think they had great success against us. So I think we have a good plan that way, already within our scheme, so I don't think it will take any additional inventing, so to speak. We'll just use what we already know how to do.
How would you define the rivalry now? We had a year to really experience it out of different conferences.
I don't really know how to describe it. It's certainly still a rivalry, but there are different conferences now, and the game's played earlier in the year, and I still think the game matters, but there's a different feel to it. I can't really describe the difference.
Does what happened last year have an impact on mentality?
Not really. To me, it doesn't. There were so many games that we played after that, and so many chances to correct different things that we thought needed to be fixed after that game. In fact, we watched it today, and I could hardly remember it. To be honest, I remembered about 3 or 4 of the plays that worked against us, but man, I had forgotten about all the turnovers and the different things that had happened till then. So I think in the world of coaching, even after a win like on Saturday, the thoughts of the coach are already to the next week. So past lessons are kind of learned and moved on from.
How much better is this team now than that team?
Hard to say. I think we have a good start, and I can't gauge how Utah is in relation to how they've been before. So I think similar, but man, we won't know until we play. But I like our team to this point.
Everyone touts their defensive line. What has impressed you about that?
I think they're talented and they're big and physical. And I think when you look statistically, both defenses are playing really well. So it'll be interesting to see how that shapes out.
How important will it be to establish your running game against them this year?
Well, I think it'll be important for both sides. Knowing that turnovers have so much to do with the outcome of these games, if you can run it, there's usually less risk than throwing it. And so I think both teams will probably work hard to establish some ground presence.
It's always more about points than yards, but your defense has gone 8 straight games without allowing 300 yards. Just from a consistency standpoint, are you proud of you guys from that level?
Sure. It's 8 games that's a lot, and to be able to have that kind of production, not only at the end of last year, but how we've started this year, I think they're very consistent. And so hopefully we'll be able to keep doing that exact same thing as this season progresses.
Good or bad time to crack those rankings?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. If I could give my opinion, and I don't think they ought to have rankings till after week 7, and then everyone would have an idea who's good and who's not good, and etc. The rest of it until then, it's just kind of, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't hold much weight. I haven't mentioned it to our team. I don't intend to, and nor do I think it's a giant thing.
You and Kyle have both asked to kind of tone down the hostility of this rivalry. Did you get a sense that happened last year and is happening again this year?
So far, this year I think is a step in the right direction. And I thought last year was closer. Certainly the nature of the game, as it wasn't as competitive, I think that probably had something to do with it as well. But it just seems like it's more about actually playing the game now than all the stuff that leads up to it, or before it, or after it, and that's better.
Top of your head, are there any guys who've been out who will play this week, or guys who may not play this week that have been playing?
No, it should be our same team.
Ross will be back this week.
Yeah, he looked pretty good today.
Okay. Glad he's back better.
It's still sore. I would expect him to play Saturday though. I mean, so his reps will be building as the week goes, but I'm very confident he'll play Saturday.
When you see what happened with Jordan, how much concern is there for a quarterback like Riley who likes to run?
A lot. And you know, it was a great chance for us to get 2 other quarterbacks, some experience on Saturday, and but I feel for Jordan Wynn. I mean, he's battled and come back and battled and come back and battled and come back, and it's hard. And so I feel for him, and I'm sure that's hard for him.
Not sure if you watched it only offense or only defense or sequentially, but Utah State impressions of that game.
Oh, it was a fun game to watch.
Did you watch it live?
No, I did not watch it live. After the fireside that we did the night before the game, I got back and there was 5-ish minutes left, and so I saw that part with our team at a snack. But both teams tried hard, and Utah State started strong and then kind of believed that they could win the longer that it went, and they were in position to win. It was fun to watch their excitement, and then, man, to have a field goal chance or 2 field goal chances right at the end, and then to have overtime. Those are great in-state games, and man, we've had our share of those, so that's now just another one as Utah State's getting better.
Bronco, there's a lot of guys from Bingham High School in this game. Is there anything common about guys coming out of that program?
I just think they're trained well. Coach Peck does a really nice job of how he prepares and trains them. He works them really hard. Their fundamentals are sound. They win a lot, and he knows and has worked closely with our program and what we're after, and there are some similarities between the programs, so it's usually a fairly smooth transition between the two.